I was just gonna say, I feel like this whole argument is contingent on the type of person, and this kind of goes back to what Bo was saying, right? Like everyone is human, and in the human experience, everyone has their own standards and expectations within a relationship. For the type of woman that Shan is, and what she was stating in her relationship, they work together in the ways that they feel they are best in that scenario. I feel like in my personal life, I do criticize, and not verbally necessarily towards men, but I will not date a man who can't do certain things. Like I've dated a man who had money before, but felt he needed to use money for everything. Like, oh no, I won't, mount a TV, or I don't bring in furniture. I just hire people to do that. I hire people to do this. Okay, then you have no real, for me, that's not valuable, because I found value in a man who's able to do these things on their own. So if you can't change a tire, if you don't know how to change oil or something like that, I don't see you as a man for me. When it came down to like what I expect from a man, something even as small as a man not knowing how to barbecue is a non-negotiable for me. I like barbecue, and I refuse to barbecue. I don't think that's a woman's job. And a lot of women in my family barbecue, but I refuse to. Right? It's just my views and what my expectations are. But at the same hand, I cook. I don't mind cleaning. I'll wash the dishes. So I think it's all based on the specific relationship and the people that are dealing in these relationships, right, and what they want from those people. I don't think it's like one consensus across the board for all relationships and how they're going to, operate.
Go ahead and widen
I appreciate Ty comments, and I agree with. I'm gonna barbecue. I'm gonna do all that other stuff, right? Now, my thing is, they said that men's roles are acceptably diminishable. Like we cannot do them, and it can be okay. So if a burglar break into our house in the middle of the night, and the man say, "You know what? I'm too scared. Let's run in the room and hide and call the police," I do not think his woman is gonna respect him that next morning. I just don't. I just do not. Maybe a show hands. If your man runs from trouble and hides when your life and your children's life is in jeopardy, if you'll respect him, please raise your hand.
If my man does not go and hide with us and call the police, I'm gonna be mad as hell. Now,
you'd be mad at me.
In hiding though, in us getting to safety, that man better be in front of us. But that man better not go and confront nobody unless he has been formally trained. If you a police officer, if you a first responder or something like that, fine, great, whatever. Otherwise, you get your ass in here with me and you call the police, because you're not putting yourself in danger like that. Because if you leave, then what?
Bo, you supposed to call the police. He's supposed to divert.
He gonna be right there with me and whoever else in this house, and we gonna call the police.
You'd be surprised though. Ty.
Wait a minute.
Ty, you'd be surprised how many women I've heard say that though, that they don't want that man to fight because they don't want to lose that man. They want the man to come hide with them. I hear a lot of women say that. I'm not gonna say I'm say that, but I've heard women say it.
Come. If the intruder comes and finds us, that is another thing. That man better be ready to defend, but do not go and confront. You get in here and we are going to call the police. If in fact, that's why I say you be in front. And so if in fact that intruder does come and find us, then you are ready to defend. Other than that, hell no, man. Get to safety. Because if I lose, then what?
Somebody run up in my crib. Hell no. Under no
so Bo,
that's how they feel.
We're getting down to it now. There's a specific archetype man that completely suits what it is that you're looking for. You might not like how we describe him, but I know men who would fall right into everything that you're talking about. That's going to run and cower with you under the bed while the intruder does what he wants. A man that's going to listen, who's going to treat you like a partner, and all of that. I doubt most women will be attracted to him, but there are men available like that. I know what you're talking about. We're not going to call them what we call them, but there are men like that that will suit you. I do believe you can find somebody probably pretty easily, right? One of these modern day guys who's with the shits like that. I don't agree with that type of lifestyle, but yeah, that you might have just been looking in the wrong places. There's a dude like that. We all know a dude like that.
Can I ask you a question, Trev?
Go ahead.
How many meals does the average person eat per day?
The average meal?
How many meals does the average person eat per day? I ain't like 3 meals a day.
Normally, that's what's recommended.
Okay. How often is somebody hanging the TV in the house?
Very rarely, right?
Once you
I
get
do
the
all
TV up
mine.
one,
How
once
often
you
do
get the
people
TV,
break into the house?
Hey, hang on.
Yeah, that doesn't happen either. Okay.
What are we
Hang
talking
on.
about?
Let him rock. Let's see where he going with it first.
How often does a man call somebody to hang a TV in the house? It's probably going to be however many TVs, and it's probably going to be one and done, right?
Yeah. That's a one-off.
Why in the hell are we trying to make sense out of outsourcing cooking parallel to outsourcing somebody coming to hang a TV in the damn house? When if you outsource 3 meals a day, can you see how that can add up? And why it makes sense why it financially makes sense to outsource somebody hanging a TV versus hiring a cook to come in and cook 3 meals a day for $300.
No, I got it. No,
Well,
so Bruce, you got that point is valid. However, there's other things, right? Like there's a lot of dudes that just don't know how to do shit, right? Like the tire changing we talked about, they can't do an oil change. They don't know how to do most things like around the house. If a shelf break, they don't know how to put it back on the wall or replace it.
But if the frequency was on the same level as cooking and cleaning, the duties that the women are arguing that they get absorbed, the men that are not trying to run parallel to the man absolving himself from, as far as fucking fractures in the house and fixing things. If these things were happening at the same frequency as needed meals and needed hygiene and sanitation and all that stuff, wouldn't we think that a man would start doing that stuff if shit was just breaking frequently on the same rate as somebody needed to eat on how many meals a average person would have to eat?
Yeah, if you say if shit broke in the house 3 times a day,
I don't know why we can't use basic math to debunk this whole conversation. Why man is able to outsource the things that he's expected to do versus the woman expected to do because she's doing them at a higher rate in some shit than a fucking false.
So basically what you just did was you just excused it by saying, oh, well, we can outsource our duties because we don't do them as much as y'all do. That still doesn't defeat the argument that you are able to you're arguing basically I can outsource everything I do because it doesn't occur as much as cooking.
It's not everything you do. It's those specific things that we allow.
If you outsource taking out the trash because you pay a service fee for that. You outsource the fixing of your car because you pay a service fee for that. You outsource the people coming in and fixing everything that breaks in your home. You're literally paying on a daily basis. Just because it doesn't occur every single day does not mean that you're not paying for it every single day because you include it in your budget.
So if meals were only once a month or anytime somebody got hungry, and let's say hunger only came once a month or twice a month or once every 3 months, you would be able to outsource that.
So how much do you think it'll cost to hire? How much do you think it'll cost to hire a mechanic to do all the repairs on your car throughout the year?
How much I think?
Yeah,
last year.
Depending on the manufacturer, you're talking about like 2,000 to 3,000 per year maintenance. About 2,000 to 3,000 a year per maintenance if you have the average car. It's close to that.
Are they outsourcing sex in this equation as well?
No, I don't think anybody outsources
the ranch and the whole time.
I think we getting away from what Bo was really talking about. She was asking why is it that men are ridiculing women for not having these basic, for not being able to do certain things. Now cooking, I'm hoping that we're not going to hone in on that example because I can't excuse a person for not cooking because it's too basic of a function, right? That's just how I feel about it. But there are some things that men may not agree with as far as, okay, well, you should be able to do this, you should be able to do that. I'm thinking you want the duties to be more, I guess, fluid, right? Like where everybody can do everything. But Sweeney made a great point that most men are doing a lot of those things already, right? They share the responsibilities. That's what the average person does. A lot of men may talk and puff their chests on the internet and shit about, I want to do all this and I want to do all that. But y'all ain't making the bread. Your homegirl doing it too. So if she's doing that at the same clip that you are or better, then it's like, you know, you're gonna have to concede on some of the things that you're doing because you're not offering the same amount of value. So in those particular cases, if the man is not providing, then no, he hasn't earned the right to just give you all the things in the house to do. That's not how it works. You have to be providing solely, or at least the majority, if you want that at whatever rate it is. It has to be a balance that you're both comfortable with. These would be the discussions that you have prior to marriage anyway, even before a long-term relationship. Most of us don't do that, but they're very important. You have to understand what it is that you feel comfortable doing and I feel comfortable doing. I don't think there's a right or wrong way, as long as no one feels like the brunt of the work is on them. For me, yes, there is a right and wrong way, but I'm not going to tell somebody else how they should live their lives, right? So if you and a partner agree on certain things, fine. If someone was to ask my advice, then I could only advise you for something that I know works. And what I know works is that I believe in gender roles. I think men should do this, women should do that. But of course, as a man, you have to be in that position first to be able to do that.
You and your partner, huh, Trev?
I don't have a partner, bro.
Would you fault a couple that has enough money to outsource everything? And she says, hey, look, if you're gonna outsource, like he makes all the money, right? And he says, well, I'm gonna outsource everything that I do. And she says, well, I want you to outsource everything that I do. And that means they hire nannies, cooks, cleaning service,
prostitutes.
Outside of, like, most people ain't gonna outsource prostitutes. Take sex out.
Y'all already doing that.
But yeah, would you say that you'll be fine with that, Trev?
Motherhood.
Yeah, my bad. Ask me again, Sweeney.
So if a guy made enough money, right? Because you said he doesn't, as long as he makes the money to do it, he outsources all his duties.
Flex.
Yeah, no matter.
And she says, well, also I want all my duties to be outsourced.
Yeah, to me personally, okay, so that makes sense in that situation. But I don't believe in outsourcing anyone's duties. Really.
Trev, you
like,
is not. Trev, you is not under your car every day, bro.
Well,
come on,
wait.
man.
So really, what it sounds like?
Sweeney, time out. Hold up. We're not going to do that.
Want it to be affordable? Is that what we're arguing about?
Look, Sweeney,
Trev, you
time
changing your
out.
own oil, bro.
Listen.
You changing your own oil.
Listen. Hey, Sweeney, I have a car channel, right? I give instructional videos on how to. I've changed downpipes. I've tuned my vehicles. I've done a lot of things. Certain things that are too complicated. There's some things that are too complicated that I won't fuck with, but I do a lot of it. There's certain, like, if as far as messing with the air conditioning system, outside of recharging it, I'm not doing it. If the compressor's bad, I'll do that. But if it's something crazy where I got a leak in the lines and all of that, I'm not doing that. You're forced to outsource it. But there's certain things that are expected to be.
If you under your car every day,
not every day. No, I can't. I don't have time under my car every day.
Hang on. First of all, if you under your car every day, something wrong with the car, you need to get a new car. Secondly, most, not all, but most of these things that we are outside or substance is a flex. Not only that, you also got to keep in mind.
That's not the point.
You got to let me finish. You can
well,
also,
I was talking to Trev, bro. You
gotta also keep in mind that a lot of these things carry a warranty, and if you go in there fucking with that shit on your own, you're gonna void your damn warranty. So I'd be damned if I go in there fucking with it. I just had an AC replaced. If that bitch go out again, I'll be foolish to go in there trying to fix my own AC to compensate for an argument that, oh, you outsource. No, fuck that. I have a warranty on that. You don't have a warranty on fucking fried chicken and fucking French fries. And another thing, you got to also understand that a man, we didn't compensate for the fact that a man may like to be fed from the hands of his wife. There's no woman going around here saying, oh, my pussy get wet because you changed the tire. And she's at work looking at her computer, or she's in there changing diapers and shit. She don't give a damn. Just get the shit done. Get your ass out of the sun and come back in the
house. Sweeney, go ahead. Sweeney, go ahead. Try to pick up where you left off if you can remember.
So, Trev, you changing your oil?
For the most part, yeah.
Are you taking it to the dealership to have them change it?
Bro, so I got ramps that I just drive up real quick. I unscrew one bolt and drop the oil, throw whatever quarts, 4 or 6, depending on one of the cars I'm doing. But I don't do everything, but I do that, yeah.
All right.
All right,
I give Trev a pass.
But that,
man.
listen, so
we're gonna make
sweetie,
sure
at the
you
same
drop all
time,
on that too,
I'm not
y'all.
trying to say it's commonplace. Most people won't do that. But you just asked a car guy if he
No,
if he
I
changes his
asked the
oil.
car guy, but that's why I
Right.
said I'll let you have. But let's keep it a bean. Most people are outsourcing that. Most
Right.
stuff.
And
As
it's
long as you
reasonable.
have the
It's
50, as long
reasonable.
as you
It's
got the
reasonable to do
$50 to
that.
do it, as long as you got the $50 to do it, most people will outsource it. Me
Right.
personally, I'd just rather pay to the 25 and do it
So,
myself.
sweetie, with that, would you agree that there's still other things that you should do? Like, let's say you got
Yeah,
something
I
that's
think,
broke.
like for instance, I know how to hang my own TVs on my wall. I know how to mount my
Right.
own TVs. I cut my own grass. You know what I mean? Shit, pretty much anything that goes wrong in the house, I'm the first one to touch it. Because
Okay.
again, you know what I mean? Like when you ain't got that kind of, when you ain't got $8,000 to go hire somebody to fix some shit, you got to get under there and fix it yourself. So, you know what I mean? Like it would have to be absolutely outside of my scope. Like if you tell me I got to change my whole transmission, I might not be able to do that. I'll probably wind up calling my pops down here. But I've changed my suspension. I've changed all of that myself because ain't nobody else gonna do it for me. I ain't got $2-3 grand for somebody to do that shit for me. So that's the type of shit, like, you know what I mean? I think I do personally believe that we live in a society where a lot of more people have the ability to outsource what they want, what the things that they no longer had to. Because I do believe that our great grandfathers and them didn't outsource because they were kind of forced to work on their own cars. They didn't have the kind of bread to just go and take that shit to the shop and have somebody fix it. That's why a lot of the older heads know how to work on cars and we don't. Because my pops know how to do everything on the car. I don't. But I know how to do enough to maintain my car until something seriously goes wrong.